Good morning, students. So today in this lecture we will talk about John Keats. John Keats, the romantic poet who lived between 1795 to 1821. Okay. So John Keats died at the age of 25, and he was one among the main figure of the second generation of romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and P.B. Shelley. In second generation, we can include these three writers, which are Lord Byron, P.B. Shelley, and our hero John Keats. And if we talk about early generation and the first generation of romantic poets, in which we can include William Blake, William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. These were the early writer of romantic age. But the second generation was very young. The poets in second generation were very young, and they all died in the young age also. Like we can say that John Keats died in the age of 25 from tuberculosis. He was born in Moorgate and died in Rome. When he was in Rome and he was suffering from tuberculosis, and he went there for medical purposes, but unfortunately he couldn't get well and died in Rome itself. Okay, so this is a little background about John Keats, and he was really very, very great genius, and he was very great poet also. But he couldn't get fame in his lifetime. Before the John Keats' death, only few of his works were published, or we can say his works were published, but he couldn't get that much critical acclamation. Okay, he got fame after his death only. By the end of, and we can assume his genius and assume his capability of writing poetry and his literature, that by the end of the 19th century, he had become one of the most beloved of all the English poets. Okay, and if we talk about today, and so we can say that today his poems and letters are some of the most popular and more analyzed poetry or works in English literature. Okay, so he died in a very early age, and if he could survive for a long time, we could get some more beautiful and more great literature from him. Okay, so his first work was O Solitude. There was a sonnet that was written by Lord Byron, John Keats, and it was published in Leigh Hunt's the famous magazine, The Examiner. This magazine was a very leading magazine of contemporary time. So Leigh Hunt published O Solitude, written by John Keats, and then his first mature poem is considered the sonnet. Sonnet title is On First Looking into Chapman's Homer, that was published in 1816, and Endymion is considered his long poem. Okay, so he has written many sonnets. I have discussed them. On First Looking into Chapman's Homer, that is considered his first mature poem. Then there is O Solitude, that was his first poem, that was published in Leigh Hunt's The Examiner. Then there is To My Brothers. Then there is other poem, To Eves of St. Agnes. Then we are going to deal about the poem that is Ode on a Grecian Urn. So he has written many odes. Okay, so what is an ode? I will discuss it later, but here I am going to name some odes that are written by John Keats. Ode to a Nightingale. Then there is Ode on a Grecian Urn, Ode to Psyche, to Autumn, Ode on Melancholy, Ode on Indolence, and there is another Ode to Fancy. So these were some odes written by John Keats. So this is a little background about John Keats, and next we will read the poem. That the title of the poem is Ode on a Grecian Urn. So it is a poem that was written in 1819 in the years when he contracted tuberculosis. वो tuberculosis के चपेट में आ गया था, and उस समय उसने ये कविता लिखी थी. एंड ये कविता जो है वो एनल्स ऑफ द फाइन आर्ट्स फॉर 1819 में पब्लिश करी गई थी. एंड कविता जो है वो एनोनिमसली पब्लिश करी गई थी. एनोनिमसली का मतलब होता है विदाउट नेमिंग द राइटर, बेनामी से किसी चीज़ को पब्लिश कर देना होता है, ठीक है, जिसमें पब्लिकेशन के समय इनका नाम नहीं दिया गया था. तो ऐसी ये पोइम है. तो ये पोइम जो है वो हम आगे वाले लेक्चर में पढ़ेंगे. ओके.